Okay. Hey guys, I'm pretty sure we're live here. Cool. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Hey everyone who's new, my name is John Horatus. I'm an active full-time real estate investor. I'm really excited to share with you one of the most recent wholesale deals that I've done. Personally, I've always found that having real examples to follow have been the most helpful thing for me. So I'm pretty excited about sharing a deal that's actually scheduled to close tomorrow. So it's as recent and as new as I can possibly share with you guys. So I'm going to start all the way back at the beginning of kind of identifying my buyers for it. I'm not going to spend too much time on concepts like that. I want to spend most of this time here tonight kind of sharing specifics that I've given on sharing specifics for how I was able to make this deal happen, basically. So I'll spend a little bit of time talking about big picture things, but most of it will be about specifics of this deal. So obviously, not every deal is going to happen the exact way this did, but like I said, for me at least, you know, hearing people talk about specific things that they worked on with deals was helpful. So I'm hoping to share the same thing with you guys tonight. So thanks for tuning in, and I guess we'll go ahead and get started here. Cool. So yeah, talk about a wholesale deal. So before I talk about that deal, I just want to do a quick, you know, kind of set the tone. When you guys are wholesaling, most of us know that the first thing you want to be looking for is your buyers, right? Without your very thorough, very qualified cash buyers list, wholesaling is going to be almost important. Having a strong, up-to-date cash buyers list is absolutely essential to the success as a wholesaler. So I'm just going to speak just real briefly about what a cash buyer is and where to find them, and then we can get started on some of the more specifics. So a cash buyer is just that, somebody who has cash and is ready to buy a house right away. We want to make sure when we're qualifying these people that they are really cash buyers and not somebody who is dependent upon funding or getting approval or anything like that. We want this to be people who have cash sitting in an account that they are ready to wire at a moment's notice, right? So they really have the money, not somebody who needs to borrow it from their kid brother or get an approval from a bank or from a hard money lender or anything like that. We are looking for people with cold hard cash that they are ready to spend right away when they see a good deal that we have, right? Cool. So when we're looking for cash buyers, this is the very first thing you want to do when you're getting started with wholesaling. You know, there's some really easy ways to find cash buyers. You know, when I first got started, I was pretty fresh out of college, so you know, me and almost all of my friends were pretty broke, right? So I thought finding people with money was going to be really difficult. But what I quickly learned was finding the cash buyers was actually the easy part of the equation, and you spend, I don't know, 90% of your time trying to find good deals and lock them up. But just real quick, some quick ways to find cash buyers is simply just go to, you know, any search engine. You know, I mainly use Google for everything. I have an Android phone and everything like that. I use Google Drive all the time, as you guys have seen in some of my previous Hangouts. But yeah, you just do an online search for We Buy Houses near whatever city you're looking for. So I'm up here in Seattle, so when I'm trying to build a cash buyers list up here, I'll start just doing a We Buy Houses near Seattle search. And I'll do that search on Google. I'll do that search on YouTube. I'll do that search on LinkedIn. I'll do it on Facebook. Really any site, I'll just do it. Even on Craigslist, I'll do a We Buy Houses search. In Craigslist, the search icon is in the upper left. The search bar is on the upper left corner of Craigslist. Just do We Buy Houses near, and you will be, if you haven't done that yet, you'll be surprised how many people are out there advertising that they buy houses for cash, and you know, these are the people that we need to identify. So that's a really quick way to find your cash buyers. You know, find some contact information for them. But the real reason, one of the main reasons you want to find your cash buyers first is because you want to talk to them and qualify them. And what I mean by qualify is find out exactly what they're looking for, where, and what their price range is, right? So, you know, let's say you've talked to 20 cash buyers and they all only buy homes on the east side of town. What does that mean for you as a wholesaler? That means all of your efforts are going to be focused on finding homes on the east side of town, right? We're not going to spend time putting out bandit signs on the west side, and you know, getting listings from our agents on the west side, and you know, things like that. You know, so what you learn from your buyers, what they're looking for and where, that is really going to direct your efforts. So that's one of the main reasons why you need to find buyers first, because you don't want to waste time looking for something that nobody wants to buy, right? So the main big picture takeaway right now is, if you're just getting started with wholesaling, your first assignment after this live cast is to start identifying all the cash buyers in the area, in your market, and finding out exactly what they want and where. And then from there, that's, you know, you really need to start chasing down what they're looking for. You know, you can take that information from those conversations you have with them, and that's what you just turn around and call your agent and say, hey, I know a lot of people are investing on the west side of town, and I need you to send me all the listings you can from the west side of town, right? And you start getting listings, you start putting those offers in, and same thing with your bandit signs. I don't want to get into too many of the specifics of what we're looking for in the listings or bandit signs right now. Maybe that'd be another good live cast later. But you know, what you find where when you find out where your buyers are looking, that's where you're going to want to direct all your efforts, is the big picture takeaway. And those efforts include, like I was mentioning, getting offers in that area, you know, putting bandit signs out in that area, maybe trying to identify a real estate club that might specialize in that part of town, something like that. You really need to get tied in there. Yeah, cool. So that was kind of my little intro for buyers. So now I want to talk about the specifics of this recent deal that I have that is scheduled to close tomorrow. I'm excited to get more money tomorrow, right? So this deal that I have closing tomorrow was actually a listed property on the MLS. So the house is in an area, I technically live in Bothell, which is a little bit north of Seattle. So this house is about an hour south of me. It's in an area called Tacoma. It's about, you know, it's, I don't know, maybe 30-ish miles south of Seattle. So this was a listed property, like I shared. I had an awesome agent in Tacoma who works really hard for me. And, you know, she was sending me the listings. I put an offer in on this house. So I want to talk a little bit about that, how I submitted my investor offer on this house. So I'm going to try to share my screen here. So give me 1 second. Let me remind myself how to do this. Let me see here. Let me try this and see if it works. Okay. You are screen sharing. Okay, I think present to everyone. All right, cool. This looks pretty crazy on my screen. If you guys can tell me in the chat, is this working? I hope this is working for you guys. Okay, cool. So let me go back to this other window I have over here. Hopefully you guys are still with me. So the house I want to show you guys right here is this one right here. This is an actual. This is one way I track my offers here. I shared this a little bit on my last live cast, so you can see, you know, I have more offers with this agent filled in here. The house I want to draw attention to is this one up here. I have highlighted this 10410 Friday Street in Tacoma. So this was simply a listing I got from my agent. You know, when we're making our numbers, you know, we have to factor in all the costs associated with that. So let me pull up this Redfin link for you guys. Do that, and then we can talk more about what I got in this sheet real quick. Cool. So you guys can see on this sheet, I have just some of the basic info of the house, just going left to right in the columns. You know, this is the address, the zip code, MLS number, the list price. This is the link that we'll look at here in a second. And what this link does is help me determine what the ARV, or the after repair value of the home is. Now, I know Redfin is not going to work for everyone in every market. But it is something that's really helpful. So check it out and see if you have it available in your market. Because what this does is it's a really quick, you know, what I've found is a very accurate way to quickly determine the ARV of a property. So what I did here, I guess I'm like one step ahead. You just simply go to redfin.com, and you're going to want to search the address of your property, right? And then it will take you here. Like, this was the listing. You can see it was, you know, listed for 177.5. You know, it's a 3-1. That square footage here includes the basement, so it's not quite accurate, but whatever. Okay, cool. So we're at redfin.com, and we've searched the property, and this is the homepage. So what I want to look at is all the way here on the right side where it says similar homes. I'm going to go ahead and click that. It will scroll you down to here. Yeah, and this is what we want to look at right here, is this recently sold homes nearby, right? So this will kind of help you determine what the ARV of the home is. Now, usually, earlier today, it was giving me another option to price the homes that I would specifically want. Normally down here, you'll have an option where you can actually hand pick the homes here that are chosen to help you determine your ARV. So basically the way that works is you just want to go through and select the homes that are comparable to your homes. You know, when they're comparable, I mean similar bedrooms, similar baths, similar square footage. One of the things that I actually really like about Redfin is that they make it really obvious how close the homes are, right? Like it says 0.1 miles, 0.6 miles, 0.7, 0.5, 0.6 miles. Another thing that is really awesome about Redfin is that they can get you very recently sold homes. So some of the problems I ran into using other websites and other software is that I wasn't able to find the most recently sold homes. You know, so sometimes I was determining my ARV off of homes that were sold 6 months ago or more, right? But you can notice just looking at just a few of these right here is that these were sold very recently, right? Like here's back in June. July. So these are all from this summer and on, right? So that's really cool. So what I did here was determine the ARV of my property. I mean, I did a little bit more math that I'm talking about right now, but not much. Is my screen share not working, guys? Let me double check. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can fix the screen share. Thanks for being patient. I thought I figured it out. Maybe if I try it again. So I think we have my face. Hello. Let me see if I can do something else. Let's try. I know I've done this before. Are you guys seeing Redfin now? Is this working at all? Can you guys see what I was talking about? All these solds down here? Let me go back to the chat. All right, cool. I'll go back to it. Awesome. I'm glad that it's working now. So I'll just back up a little bit. So this is just redfin.com. And when you just redfin.com, you search the property. So this is the address of my property. I just clicked search, right? And so it's very similar to other sites I'm sure you guys are familiar with if you haven't tried Redfin. What I was drawing specific attention to when you're at the home page is I click here on similar homes on the right side. And then it takes me down to similar homes for sale, but we want to be looking at nearby or recently sold homes here. So everything I was just talking about, it were these squares here. So these homes were recently sold, and it tells you the date when they were sold, how far they were from your subject home, and what the specs of the home are and everything. So it's really cool. And the best thing about this is because you can get such accurate comps here, because and this particular area is not the fastest moving area. That's why these solds aren't super recent. But when I've been using this, I've been seeing solds that are 2 and 3 days old, which is great because that is the current market, right? So the newer the better when it comes to recently solds. So Redfin has been super awesome for me. So this is something I use to quickly help determine my ARV. So I want to tie this back into my sheet over here. So, you guys probably didn't see this sheet when I was talking earlier either. So this is the house we're talking about right here, this 10410 Friday, I don't know how you pronounce it, Friday Street. I was just saying I have all the information, the address, zip code, MLS number, the list price, and the link to Redfin. That's what we were just looking at. And that's how I determined this ARV right here of a low 200 number. Now, when it comes to making offers with a real estate agent, one of the things that I've learned through this program is when you're making offers with a real estate agent, you can expect a 4% acceptance rate or a ratio of 25-1, meaning you'll get one offer accepted for every 25 that you make, right? So point is, make a lot of offers there. So let's talk a little bit about how we made this offer here. I'll just show a little bit more about this sheet, and then we can jump back into some more specifics about how I was marketing this deal and eventually found a brand new buyer. Cool. So The way I make my offers here for my investment, my wholesale properties is, you know, this percent ARV is meaning that I want to purchase this home for 75% of the after repair value. Now, what this number takes into account, it accounts for holding costs, realtor fees, closing costs, and profit are all factored into that missing 25% here. So if you guys can direct your attention up here to the formula bar, you can see it says F4 times G4, so that's just the F column times the G column, so it's the ARV times 0.75 and then minus 50,000. That 50,000 includes my estimated rehab for the home in addition to my assignment fee. So what we've done here is we've subtracted all of the costs that our end buyer, our cash buyer, will need to when they're actually flipping this home, right? Because we have the after repair value of 207,000. We're multiplying it by 0.75. What that's doing is helping us is subtracting our closing costs, our holding costs, and our agent fees. And then the other two expenses that we have remaining is this minus 50,000 in the formula, which is subtracting the rehab and subtracting our assignment fee. And what that gives me is my offer. That's my MAO, my maximum allowable offer. So that is that's the most I can offer, you know, and with, you know, with the allotted amounts I have for my rehab and everything, right? So that's the offer I made in this home. And you guys can see this is pretty recent, right? This next column is when I submitted the offer to my agent. So that was earlier this month on the 4th. So just showing you guys this is a, you know, a real recent deal that we're doing. Okay, cool. So let me jump back on to the camera. We can talk a little bit more about marketing the deal. Okay. All right, here we are. I'm back. Cool. So once you get the deal accepted, yay, all right, celebrate a little bit, but then you need to get right back to work. And actually, it's probably the most important work of marketing your deal, because that is where we collect our checks. So everybody needs to be good at this next part, right? So there are some, you know, everybody probably does their own marketing. We probably have some similar things, but I think there are a few basic, free, really awesome tools that we should all be taking advantage of. One of the obvious ones, Craigslist. I mean, everyone uses Craigslist. It's really popular. There's a lot of junk on there, but there's still some really good content on there. So it's free, it's popular. There's no reason not to take advantage of it, right? Yeah, so let's talk about it. As soon as I got this offer accepted, the next thing I did was I made a visit to the house. So I made the offer on this house, estimated the rehab, ran all my numbers, made the offer without actually driving to the house. Main reason is because it's like an hour away. I don't want to spend half my day driving to a house if I don't need to, right? So the offer got accepted. I went to the house the very next morning. When I went to the house, I think I took like 34 photos or something like that of the home. The inside, the outside, the basement, just, you know, anything that I thought that you know, someone who's going to remodel the home would want to know about. And one thing I also did that I found that my cash buyers really like is I actually take a video of me walking through the home, just kind of narrating narrating what I see in the home. So I take my phone, nothing fancy. I just got my phone here, right? Put it on camera, and I just walk through the house. And I'm like, here's me walking in here we are walking in the front door. You know, here's the front room, walking this way. We got our kitchen. See, the cabinets on here are pretty old. These appliances, they're going to need to be updated. We might be able to save the countertop, you know, whatever it is, right? Notice the hardwood floors throughout the house. Just kind of saying what you're seeing. You know, nothing too fancy. You know, it just helps your buyer visit the house without having to drive out there as well. So when I went to the house, I got all those pictures, I took that video, and so why am I telling you to do this? So let me show you what the end product is, and let's see if I learned how to screen share better this time. All right, so you guys let me know if this is working this time. Hopefully it is. Cool. So we'll do just a quick rundown on Postlets right here. So Postlets, this is just simply postlets.com, Postlets.com. And essentially what this is it creates a digital brochure with a lot of information, everything you could possibly want, right? So let's just take a quick look through at how easy and powerful and free, let me point out this is a free tool. Let me show you guys this. So you just go through and then you have to create a free account. It's totally free, so just do it. You just simply go through these tabs here on the left and fill out the blanks. So you put in the address, put in your contact info, make sure you upload a really awesome photo of yourself. Basic details, right? So this is the asking price, details of the home, just general stuff. So photos and media. This is why you want to take all those pictures in that video, because you can upload all of these photos, right? So what was it? I think it said 31 pictures. So, I mean, you can take a look at a couple of these real quick if my internet will work. There we go. So there's the front of the house, right? I've just taken pictures, the inside, the outside, the back of the house. Here's one of the bedrooms. So, I mean, you can tell these aren't like professionally taken photographs, but they tell the story of the home, right? There's the stairs to the basement. Here's a room in the basement. So, I mean, guys, don't stress about taking too awesome quality photos. Just, it's not blurry. I got little descriptions saying what they're looking at in case it's hard to tell, right? Yeah, so these are the photos, and you can also upload videos. I'll show you guys my video here in a moment. But you upload all these things, and then this is a cool part too. You write a description here, so we can take a quick look at my description. Maybe I'll read this just real quick to inspire you guys to do something better. But charming Rambler in great neighborhood. This neighborhood has a strong pride of ownership. House only requires a light rehab to achieve its full ARV. Home already has updated vinyl windows. The roof is good, no foundation issues, and the original hardwood floor is under the carpet. The house is 1,200 square feet, but has a partially finished 912 square foot basement. Right, so I'm basically with here, the whole point is you want to tell the whole story of the home. So I give a little background in the area, talk about the condition of the home. I have my rehab estimate here, so my 25 to 29,000. I say what it includes and how I'm getting that number, because I'm associating costs with each item that needs to be repaired. There's the total. Get a little bit more information on the area. Inventory is low. It's only Joint Base Lewis McChord is a very large military base we have around here in the Seattle area. Just kind of telling people, things that are cool that's near it. I have a breakdown of my ARV. So one thing that's important, sometimes I'll get emails from other wholesalers, and they'll just simply say ARV is between 200 and 210. And it's like, okay, I can make up numbers too, right? But what you want to do is back that up, and that's what I've tried to do here with these comparable solds. And again, when we're looking at Redfin, these are some comparable solds that I pulled from Redfin, right? So all I'm doing is putting that information in here to show my cash buyer that it's really what I'm doing. Here's a breakdown of the numbers: an 11% profit, 74% ARV. Depending on where you are, that might not sound so good, but in Seattle, that is actually a good deal. So let's see, we gotta go a little info on the rent. Here's some links to my videos, walking through the house, walking through the outside of the house. So that's just a little, hopefully that helps you guys with, what to include in your ads here. More back to Postlets, you kind of just check the boxes of what your house includes. Nothing too fancy here. Let's take a review. So you can review everything you've done here at the end, but what I want to show you guys, this coolest part is this end. When you promote your Postlet, mine's already promoted, so I'm not going to do it again. But right here, all these websites, this Postlet is automatically uploaded within 48 hours to all of these websites. So the big ones, Zillow and Trulia, right? And then, like I mentioned, it's important to post to Craigslist. You guys are going to want to post this to Craigslist, and they have instructions for how to do that. And if you follow their instructions, it'll be, on Craigslist, and it'll look super professional. Like you'll have different size fonts and horizontal lines to break up the page and everything like that. It'll look really nice. Yeah, cool. So that's Postlet. So this is the first thing you want to do to market your deal, right? So let me jump back on camera here. So I can make eye contact with you guys. Oh, Tony, I see a question here. Don't hide the address. No, you don't need to hide the address. Because I have the property under contract. If I didn't have the property under contract yet, meaning I have mutual acceptance between the seller and I on the property, then I definitely would not share the address, because then the buyer could just go around me. But once I have the offer accepted from the seller, I own the exclusive right to purchase the home for that agreed upon price. So then it's totally fine to share your address there. A good question though, and I definitely hope there's more questions here at the end. I'll be done here shortly. But so let's take it back. So I got my offer accepted. The next morning I went to the house. I took all those pictures. I took the videos. I rushed home. I made the postlet. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys in a second. And I'll show you what the finished product looked like on that postlet. I can't believe I forgot that part. But so you make that, and then what you want to do is, you guys saw though, we didn't see the finished product, but you saw that all the relevant information is included on that postlet, right? So what you do is you take the link for that postlet and you send that directly to everyone on your cash buyers list. What I do is I make sure I text it to everybody with my Google Voice phone number, because with Google Voice you can actually, I think I've covered this on a previous live cast, but you can actually send 5 messages at once that send out like 5 individual text messages, not a group message. So you can text all of your cash buyers right away. Everybody checks their text really quick, so I text them all. I have a Google Mail merge, so I email them all the deal. I'll call some people directly. But one thing I really want to talk about tonight on this specific deal was we found the buyer for this deal by going to a real estate club meeting, and presenting the deal there. A lot of times real estate clubs will start off their meeting with the haves and wants, where like the first 5-10 people can go to the front of the room and tell you what they have and tell you what they want. So went to the front of the room and said, I have the house under contract. Give a little rundown on the house and say what I want is a cash buyer. And that's actually how we found the cash buyer for this deal. Yeah, so real estate clubs are awesome. Let's take a quick look at the finished product of the postlet, and then we'll take a look at real estate clubs. So, oops, what is that? Okay. So here we are. I just want to show you guys what the finished product of the postlet looks like. So this is it right here. So you can see, you can scroll through all these photos. And if you make them full screen, they'll have my description down here, right? So these are the pictures of the house. And if you guys type this address in on Zillow, you'll be able to see all this, or Trulia, right? Any of those websites, you'll be able to see this ad if you guys want to review it later. But yeah, you can see this is, here's a really awesome picture of me with my contact info, my Google Voice number, my work email. Here's all the boxes we checked, right? Here's that long description that I wrote about all of my houses. If my internet was working right, there'd be a breakdown in the neighborhood right here. Yeah, but this is awesome, right? I mean, it's all the information anyone could ever want to know in one link, right? So this, oops. So this link right here, this is the link you would want to copy and send to all of your buyers, because then when they open it, this is what they'll see. And again, it's all the information, breakdown of the rehab, breakdown of the area, breakdown of recent solds, breakdown of the numbers, little rental information. These are links to my videos, so it's literally everything they'd want to know in one link. And it's organized, looks clean, professional, and best of all, it's totally free. So everybody should use this right away. Cool. So I mentioned that the buyer for this house was actually found from a real estate club. So if you guys aren't tied in with your local real estate club, there are so many reasons to get tied in with them. That could be a whole nother live cast, but just do it. So I just wanted to show this website real quick in case anyone is looking for a real estate club. The website here is simply creonline.com. And this is a website that just basically takes, I don't know how they do it, but it's a lot of real estate clubs, and they get a list for you. So here we are, creonline.com, and we are looking for real estate investor clubs. So if I was looking for a real estate investor club, I don't know, let's say in Colorado, we could either ask Andrea or we could go here. And so as you guys can see, wherever you guys are, right, it was almost, I think it was all the states, right? Yeah. You can just go through here, and these are all, or not all, but a lot of the local, real estate investment clubs. I mean, contact information for them, when they meet, where they meet, and you guys can see there's several here. So get tied in. This is where I found the buyer for this deal. If I didn't go to that club meeting, I don't know if I would have found a guy. I mean, I might have, but would not have been as quickly. Cool. So that's the way to find your real estate club. Cool. So let me hop back on camera here. Let's see if I can do this right. Stop screen sharing. Okay, cool. Yeah, so just a quick review on what we ran down. We started out talking about cash buyers. We did a quick review on how to find some, just doing the We Buy houses near whatever city you're looking to have a buyer in. And we talked about why it's so important to find your cash buyers first, because they tell you what to look for and where, right? So you don't want to waste time looking for something that nobody wants. What else we talked? We talked about a little bit about how we make offers. I gave you guys a quick rundown on how I run my wholesale numbers there. We talked about the 25-to-1 ratio a little bit. Showed you guys Redfin. Redfin, that's only something I've been using for the past couple months, and I've actually really liked it. You know, it's been very accurate for how it's been very efficient and very accurate. So and it's free. So it's been a great addition to my business. I hope you guys have Redfin in your area so you can take advantage of it. If not, I'm sure there's another thing you guys can use, whether it's Trulia or Realtor.com or something like that. They probably have their own version of it, but I've really been liking what Redfin's doing. We talked about marketing. That postlet is so powerful. It's free. I hope you guys could see the value that can add to your business. And I really think that making that video has been really helpful. Previously, I actually wholesaled a deal to a cash investor. I was sitting in an apartment, and he told me, he looked me in the face and said, "I'm not going to buy a house I haven't been to." And the only reason I drove out to his house was because he told me he wanted to buy it, right? And then I get there and he says, "I'm not going to buy the house." So because I had so many pictures on my postlet, and because I had multiple videos, it was a larger house, so I had multiple videos of the home, he actually, you know, bought the house, bought the assignment, bought the contract there. So the video is I think very useful. It only takes a few minutes to make, and if you don't know how to upload a video, just simply Google how to upload a video from my phone to my computer, and I'm sure there's a YouTube video or click by click, you know, instructions that you can find. Cool. So I guess that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. I'm going to go ahead and look over onto the chat and see if there are some questions. I know we're on a bit of a delay, so I will just stick around and see if you guys start typing some questions. But I'm going to leave myself on camera, but I'm going to click over so you'll see me reading the screen. What do we got here? So yeah, so Tony, we talked about not hiding the address. We don't need to hide it. Even if it's a listed property, we don't need to hide the address because we have it under contract. So no one can go around us while we currently have it under contract. Nope, it's not acting as a realtor. Good question, Tony. We're not acting as a realtor. I don't know all of the legal reasons why it's not, but I know one of the main ones is that we collect our fee from the buyer and not from the seller. But no, wholesaling this way is absolutely legal. Absolutely not acting as an agent. I don't have a license, real estate license. We're not acting as a real estate. What else do we got? Oh yeah, Google Mail Merge. Yeah, it is pretty cool. The way you're doing it, I see here with the blind carbon copy with all your buyers, that works. But yeah, Google Mail Merge, it's totally free. The way I learned to do it is I simply just you know, Googled how to do a Google Mail Merge with Google Drive, and I actually found a kind of it was like a 4-minute video, YouTube video, of some guy just showing what he does, and he would say one thing, and then I would click pause, and I would do that, and I go back, click, play. He would tell me the next couple clicks, pause the video, go back and do the clicks. So yeah, it was pretty easy. You should be able to find something that interests you. Can you walk me through your close tomorrow? Well, yeah, Sherry, thanks for the question. Sherry Raw 316, the close. You know, I'm not going to do anything for the close, you know, because what happens is, you know, when you're wholesaling, I assigned the contract, the purchase agreement for the home. That's what I mean by the contract. I assigned the purchase agreement to my buyer for a fee, right? So once I've done that, I'm really not part of the close anymore. I'm basically just there collecting my assignment fee. So tomorrow, I'm really not going to do anything for the close. I mean, I'll probably check with the title company, or probably actually with my buyer, just to confirm that the close worked successfully. Yeah, as far as the close, there's not much to do. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, and there's my mom, Gina Herrera, helping out. Yeah, we're selling equitable interest. There we go. That's the right words I'm looking for. Awesome, cool guys. Yeah. Okay. So, and this, I'll give you guys another moment here to see if there's any questions filtering in. Got a smaller group tonight, but hopefully you guys got something out of this. You know, smaller ratio of the, you know, what's the, they say call it the teacher to student ratio, right? In school, it's always good to have smaller classes. So that's what we got tonight. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate you listening. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on. Everybody's got busy lives, but I really appreciate you guys, you know, getting here, trying to get better, staying here, trying to get better at your investing. Let's see what else we got over here. Okay, I don't see any new questions coming in, so I'm trying to think of anything else I want to add. I'll give you guys one more moment for questions, and then I guess I'll log off here. I guess, Sherry, I guess I'll share this with you because we got a smaller group. I hope this doesn't confuse anything. But you know, when you're assigning the contract, you know, you're assigning it for a fee. So essentially, you're selling the purchase agreement for a fee if you want to break it down like that. So the only interest I have in the closing tomorrow is with this buyer. You know, I mentioned that we met them at the real estate club meeting, so they weren't somebody who we previously worked with before or anything like that. So it was a new buyer, and typically what I do when I wholesale is I get my full assignment fee up front. The reason I want to there's a couple reasons I want to do that, but we'll talk about that in a second. But with this buyer, I actually only collected half of the assignment fee up front. So with the closing tomorrow, that's why I'm actually going to follow up and make sure that the close went through, because I'm waiting on the second half of my fee. So tomorrow I'm going to get the rest of that check. So I do want to make sure that it does close. You know, the reason being why you want to collect, I always try to collect my full fee up front. I do that, you know, I want to get paid. That's one of the main reasons, but I also want to know that my buyer is serious. But you know, sometimes a buyer might not want to give you your full fee up front if they don't know you, because they, you know, maybe they're just sketched out about handing someone a check for several $1,000s that they've never done business with before, which is understandable. And like that's what happened to me in this case. So I mean, that's not really a problem. But what I did was absolutely, you absolutely at a minimum need to receive half of your assignment fee, I think, up front. There's a couple reasons you want to get half of your fee up front. One is to make sure your buyer is serious. So let's just say in a scenario you are assigning a contract and you don't get any of your fee up front. And let's say your buyer is kind of a flake and just leaves town, right? So what happens there is you didn't collect your fee. The deal is not going to close because your buyer is not there to close on the deal. So not only does the deal not close, you're not going to collect your check. You're not going to collect your assignment fee check. And that seller of that home's probably not going to want to sell you the house again. So what happens is that buyer, because they were, you know, irresponsible or whatever, they flaked out, they cost you an opportunity to make your assignment fee. So I want to protect myself from something like that happening. So that's why I want to make sure that my buyer is serious, make sure they have some skin in the game, right, and collect half of my fee up front. Because, you know, if something happens and they just flake out and leave town, and you know we're not able to close on the property, I don't want to have missed my entire opportunity to make money there, right? So it's just kind of protecting myself. Yeah, so on this deal, I'm just gonna send an email saying, hey, just want to make sure the deal closed tomorrow so I can expect to get the remaining half of my fee. So let's see. Tony, what was my wholesale fee? On this one, I got the house was under contract for 122. That's what was owed on the house. And then you guys probably saw in my ad that it was advertised as 129. So I'll let you guys do the math there. What else do we got? How do you word your assignment fee? The fee is non-refundable, but also that it is refundable in case of a little issue. Yeah, I don't think I have any specific wording in my assignment of contract, but you know, I always want to do things the right way. I always want to be a moral businessman, right? So, I mean, if something did happen that was outside of my control, outside of the buyer's control, and for whatever reason the deal didn't close, then I would gladly refund the assignment fee, right? One of the main reasons, okay, it's the right thing to do, right? And also to protect your business image, right? Because if you get a reputation of ripping people off and not being a good person to do business with, that's going to get around pretty quick, and your buyers list is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So you just kind of want to keep that good reputation. You know, there's so much of this business is just getting to know people, and repeat customers is really important. You know, I would rather make $5,000 10 times than make, you know, $15,000 once from the same. I was talking about selling multiple deals to the same person, because I want to keep as many buyers on my list as I can. So like I was saying, I'd rather make $5,000 10 times instead of, you know, make $15,000 once. Let's see. How many people in your team to do this? So Gomez, I think you're asking how many people are on my team. Right now, it's just my mom and I, so we have 2. But if you don't have a partner to work with, that's totally fine. You know, I would recommend getting tied in with your local real estate club, so you can kind of get a little support system there. You know, you don't need a huge team. I mean, you know, if you're a super large, big picture operation guy like Dean, you probably need a lot of people. But you know, you can do well just by yourself or just with 1 or 2 other people. So right now, it's just my mom and I. In the past, you know, we've had an intern, and actually today we interviewed another intern. So hopefully our team will be growing. In my other live cast, I've talked about virtual assistants. So I'm not going to do that right now, but if you guys are looking at virtual assistants, I can share the website I use. It's Elance, ELANCE.com, where you can hire people all over the world to help you with work. Cool. I feel like we're off topic, but I feel like it's still good info, so it's okay. I'm going to hang on for another moment here and see if we have any other questions. And then I will say goodnight if we got nothing. So I know there's a delay. Cool. Yeah, Tony, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the questions. That's awesome. I hope you got a couple of things out of this. I had fun doing this, so I'll hold on for just one more moment. It doesn't look like anyone's responding with questions. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something here, and I will catch you next time. And yeah, good luck and keep making offers, guys. Good night.